My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you all are doing well. What I have here is a tent from a Japanese company called DOD Outdoors. This is the Ichi one pole tent. Ichi in Japanese means one, so essentially this is the DOD Outdoors one pole tent. Check this thing out. Folks, this is a tent that I'm very excited to begin testing out. It's a teepee tent. I love teepee tents. So folks, let's don't waste any time. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. I tell you what, everyone, before we do a component breakdown, let's talk about DOD Outdoors for a second. This is, as I mentioned before, a Japanese company. They make tents, sleeping pads, sleeping bags. They make tables, cots, chairs. They make a wide range of products with a focus on car camping. Let's do a component breakdown. Start off, you have the storage bag here. You have two compression straps. You have two handles. And you have two-way zippers. On the inside of the tent, you have setup instructions in Japanese. Just as with the storage bag, you have two compression straps. We have tent stakes. And speaking of the tent stakes, we have 13 of these. Then we have the setup pole, the one pole. Wow, that is substantial. It is shock corded. Folks, this thing is incredibly heavy. Down at the bottom of the pole, you have a support for when you set up the pole inside of the tent. This is the fly. This is the body. I'm going to set up the tent real quick, and I'll be back with you. The inner tent has been set up without the fly. Look at the size of this. This is massive. I don't think I've mentioned this already, but this is a 5-person teepee tent. And it's huge. Check this out, everyone. Here at the center of the tent, this is 6.5 feet tall. Now, of course, you have to remember that the walls go in together to a point. So not everyone's going to be able to stand up inside of this, but when you're sitting down, I mean, there's a ton of space in here. When it comes to the inside features of this tent, you have taped seams. With the center pole, you have that base plate, and that keeps that pole into place. It makes it difficult to move that on accident. This is a feature that's actually fairly uncommon when it comes to teepee tents, but it's a smart one. On the inside of the tent, you have two mesh pockets. You also have the ability to roll back the door and tie it off if you want to. The body of the tent features a very aggressive bathtub floor, so you don't have to worry about splashback or anything like that. What you have inside of this tent is a ton of space with a ton of mesh, so you're going to have excellent airflow. Before I put the fly on, I want you all to focus on the stakeout points for this tent. These are non-adjustable, meaning this, once you stake out the body, if you have to make any sort of adjustments, you have to pull the stake out to make those adjustments. You don't have any adjusters on these lines, which is a shame. Now, of course, this is something that you could fix yourself. You could do that rather easily. Having adjustable stakeout points makes the setup process of your tent much easier. Plus, if you have those adjusters, you only have to stake one time. That way you don't break up the soil and make it more likely that the stake comes out. With the tent being set up now, let's talk about the setup process. Overall, that was extremely easy. If you've ever set up a teepee tent before, you'll find this very easy. Everything makes sense. There's no glaring issues at all. As you can see here, the door can be rolled back over the zipper. You do have a storm flap that keeps the water out. Up at the top of the tent, you do have a vent, and you also have one on the other side. Along the body, you have 6 guy line points with the guy lines already attached. These are fully adjustable guy lines, by the way. Where the fly connects to the body, this is also adjustable, so you can pull the fly tight. I would have loved to have seen this feature on the body as well. For me, there's 2 points that stand out about this tent. First off, the size. This thing is massive. Second, the color. It's black. I love it. Before I talk about my impressions of this tent so far, let's go over some stats real quick. This is available in one color, black fly, gray inner. Again, folks, the company claims this is a 5-person tent. When it comes to versions, there's 2. There's the medium size for 5 people, and there's a large size for 8 people. The company says the fly material is a polyester with a 2,000 millimeter hydrostatic head rating. They state the floor is a polyester with a 5,000 millimeter hydrostatic head rating. The pole is steel, the stakes are aluminum, and the carry bag is also polyester. With the pack dimensions, you're looking at 23 inches by 7 inches by 7 inches. When it comes to the setup dimensions, it's 145 inches by 128 inches, and the peak height is 6.5 feet. The weight of the tent with all of the components is 10 pounds, and the cost of this tent is an impressive $270. There are 2 accessories for this tent, including a ground sheet and an inside table that goes around the center pole. Now let's go over my impressions of this tent so far. I've already spoken about the setup process. All in all, very, very easy. The adjustable body would make a huge difference. That's something that the company should consider in the future with this tent. But all in all, very easy, very simple setup process. Everything makes sense. There's nothing to it. If you would like an instructional video done on this tent, let me know and I'll do it. Shoot me an email if that's the case. Next, everyone, the size of this tent is very impressive. 5 people can sleep inside of this. I say 5 people in a pinch. I would say 3 people very comfortably with lots of space for gear, tables, and so on. Next, everyone, with this tent weighing 10 pounds, it is a little bit heavy for backpacking purposes. You could split the weight up with other users. That would work. With that being said, I think the primary focus for this tent is car camping. Now, it would be interesting to see how much that center pole weighs, because it is substantial. It's got to be 2 or 3 pounds. So if you wanted to drop some weight on this, I think you could. All you would have to do is find a pole that's the same length. That may be possible, it may not be, I don't know. But overall, 10 pounds, this is a heavy tent, but again, this is a 5-person teepee tent. Next, everyone, let's talk about the quality of this tent. So far, everything looks great. There are no loose threads with this tent, so the quality looks to be very, very good. Talking about the materials for a second, with it being a polyester and not knowing what the denier is, I would state that this is best used in the summertime. This is a 3-season tent, and because this is made from a polyester, I would not use this in the wintertime in really strong winds or in heavy, heavy snow. 3-season use would be my recommendation based upon my experiences with similar materials. You certainly can use it in the winter, but in calm conditions. Based upon what I'm seeing so far with this tent, I love it. First off, I love the color, I love the size, I even love the price. $270 for a tent of this size is very, very impressive. Assuming that it's not going to have any issues when it comes to waterproofing, $270 for this? That is a score. That is a score. Talking about the tent being waterproof, I will be doing that testing very soon. So stay tuned to the channel, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned. More about this tent is coming up. A huge pro for many teepee tents, not all, depends on the design, is that they're very versatile. You can use the teepee tent with just the inner. That way you have just bug protection underneath the tarp or maybe in a dry location. Or you can use it with the bug protection and the fly. Or you could ditch the body and use only the fly itself. That's a lot of versatility from one tent. Something else that we should talk about is the color. You may be against a tent that features a black fly. For myself and with my testing over the years, I have found that tents that have black flies, it's not that big of a deal. You would think that the black material would soak in a lot of heat, and while it does soak in some, it's really not that big of a deal. Most of the time during the day, you're not inside of your tent. At nighttime, you will appreciate the dark fabric. At nighttime, it blocks out the moonlight. Early in the morning, it blocks out the sunlight. So there are some benefits there. For this episode, everyone, for this first look, this preview, that's pretty much it. Make sure to comment down below. First off, what do you all think about DOD Outdoors? What do you think the DOD stands for? I know. Don't go searching because you're not going to find anything. So take your guesses, comment down below. In the future, I'll talk about it. If you have any experiences with the DOD Outdoors brand, let me know. I can't believe I got that out right. DOD Outdoors brand. That sounds like it should be a tongue twister. Whatever. Anyways, if you have any experiences with the brand, share with the community. Also, make sure to share your thoughts about this tent. What do you all think about this? The size, the price, the weight. For the money, this is a very impressive tent. For the money and the size of this, I'm not sure of any competitors out there that come close to this. I mean, there's a number of teepee tents out there, but they're quite a bit different than this. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the thumbs up because it does help the channel. You can support The Outdoor Gear Review. The channel is agenda free. I'm not here to sell products. I'm here to share information, and that's it. Folks, be well, be good, strength and honor. By the way, make sure to stay tuned for the waterproof testing of this tent that will be coming up very, very soon. Bye for now.